what accumulation actually means. Now, you'll often hear traders say the market is accumulating, but what does that actually mean? Most people think that a sideways market is a fair fight. It's not, it's a trap. Now, most traders would tell you that accumulation is when the market moves sideways in a tight range with no real trend or no real direction. But in a real accumulation phase, that's not necessarily true. Think of the market like a flood. The sellers are the water. They want the price to crash. But standing in the way is a massive sponge. Now this sponge is the banks and institutions. The sponge doesn't push back, it doesn't move, it just absorbs. Every time a seller tries to push the price down, the sponge says, I'll take that, and that, and that. Now this results in the price staying flat because the sponge is so big that it can soak up all that selling pressure without breaking a sweat. This is accumulation. The institutions are quietly filling their pockets at the same price over and over again. They aren't necessarily fighting the sellers, they're just waiting for the sellers to run out of ammo. Now eventually the flood runs dry, there's no one left to sell. Now this is when the sponge finally makes its move. With no more resistance, the smallest bit of buying can send the price to the moon. Now how do you recognize accumulation? You'll usually see three main things. Price keeps bouncing between the same highs and lows. There aren't really that many strong momentum candles, and you'll often see a lot of fake breakouts that quickly come back inside the range. Now what you need to remember is that a sideways market isn't necessarily a stalemate. It's a sponge getting ready to soak the rest of the market. Don't try to outsmart the sponge while it's absorbing. Wait until the sponge is full. So that brings you to the next question. How do you realize when the sponge is finally full? Now you'll usually see price leaves the ping pong range. It usually comes back to kiss the top of that old range, but this time it doesn't fall back in. It bounces off that old ceiling like it's a new floor. If you want any more trading concepts broken down like this, leave it in the comments.